ask you, Candice, because you have your numbers down to all the phases, you know exactly this many conversations, this many meetings, these many sales. And we do the same, we do purely inbound. And I know exactly, okay, I know my conversion rate. I know if I wanted to increase it, I need to add something on a landing page. I need to change some keywords so we can rank for that. And I have a dashboard to see that. When you are, if you were to look at, let's say, 10 different people who are using your approach, what would be the data points that you would look at and the points in that funnel to understand how is it that you can improve those numbers?
Okay, so just to give some clarification for people listening, what I focus on with my students is getting connections, engagement in DM, and meetings. Now, posting and the way that you write your profile and everything have a critical impact on the effectiveness of what we're measuring. So we still have to look at that and make sure that the profile and the headline especially are really, really dialed in to be customer centric. But what we measure, so I run 90-day accelerators, which is I think what Alejandro is referring to, where we have a group of 20 people or less that do a 12-week program with me where we work on helping them book meetings on LinkedIn. So the same way I did when I got the 500 connections, 355 people engaged with me, which is a 76% conversion ratio from connection to engagement. And then out of that 355, 125 booked a meeting with me, which is 35% of my engaged or 25% of my connections booked meetings. Now, the people that have gone through my accelerator, I've gotten better at it since then. That was in 2018. I did a 6-month experiment, and that was my results after the 6 months. Now, my booked meeting ratio is closer to 71%, meaning that for every 10 people I reach out to with a DM on LinkedIn after they've connected, that 7 of them will book meetings with me. Okay. And when I say booked meeting, I mean, I will send them my Calendly link and they will take the action to book the meeting, because I hate meeting ping pong. That just drives me nuts now. So what I teach in the accelerator is first how to get your profile dialed in, how to find the target audience, and then how to send a connection request that doesn't just get a connection, but sets the expectation that they're going to engage with you. And so most people that connect with me or with my students will actually reply. They'll connect and reply. That's what we want to get going, because we want to start a conversation in DM. And then we look for a meeting. And I just ran the numbers with this group. Shoot, I should have looked this up before we talked. I think it was 53% was their meeting acceptance ratio after 9 weeks. The summer accelerator, remember those numbers more explicitly, they had about a 65% connection acceptance ratio, because that's the first step, right? And then they had a 56% meeting acceptance ratio, which if you work out all those numbers, it means for every 100 connection requests they send, they're going to get 34 meetings. Now, this is why I shut down anybody that talks about scaling communications on LinkedIn. Because if you can get 34 meetings for 100 connection requests, then it's not about scale. It's about being effective on LinkedIn. And pitch slapping and outsourcing and using a bot will never get you anywhere close to those numbers. And that's what you should expect. Now, it takes some time. You're not going to get there in week 1. Like I said, it's week 9 of practicing this that they're hitting those numbers. So it's not something that happens instantly. And I also find that it takes practice and it takes consistency. You almost need to get it into your spine. My husband's a musician. And he doesn't read sheet music. It's amazing. He plays everything by ear, and he memorizes the entire song so that he can play it. And he talks about practicing it enough until it gets into his spine so that he can sing and play, and it just comes out his hands. It doesn't have to stop here. right? And I think that that's what we need to do on LinkedIn. We need to practice this behavior enough so that it's in our spine and it's just the natural way that we communicate. And that really translates well to email too, by the way. So if you're trying to reach somebody that's not active on LinkedIn, you can use the exact same methods that we teach to do it on email and get high response rates there too. Some of my current accelerator members are doing that because their target audience they're not active on LinkedIn. You know, one of them is going after Department of Defense contractors. Yeah,
Wow.
they don't use LinkedIn a lot.